Good day, my fellow European champions. I don't even know what to do anymore. What do we do? What do we say? I'll accept that we're just European champions every single day for the rest of the year, preparing my ass cheeks for that flare. It's going to be a hot Spurs summer here, everybody. I'm looking forward to it. Weirdly, for some reason, I didn't I celebrated, just hung out with some people, but I didn't end up really hitting an absolute bender like I thought I would. I feel pretty great today. Had a nice, warm, hot donut, have a big cup of coffee to the side here. I'm here to bask in the glory, bask in the wonder that is this Tottenham Hotspur season. It's the best roller coaster I've ever been on as a Spurs fan. And I am really looking forward to this Twitter Reacts. Probably the best Twitter Reacts we're ever going to have. It's going to be absolute vibes. Strap yourself in, everybody. Take the day off work if you can, or at least maybe tell the boss, listen, I'm need about an hour or so just to have a little emotional, relapse of the great night that we had last
Quick
night
plug in the
all
bathroom.
together. It's going to feel great.
Mm. Yeah, no, look, first of all, greetings, my fellow European champions. I mean, we should start addressing each other as sir, madame, stuff like that.
Champione.
Yeah, really get the respect going around here for each other. It's been a long, hard grind to get there, and these are the moments you've got to enjoy. Look, to anyone that has kept on with work, bin it off. You're never ever going to be able to enjoy, a 4 or 5 days like this in your life. I'm going over to Parade tomorrow, and then when I get back next week, I'm heading away with the Outlad for a few days. And we're going to really live it up. I absolutely cannot wait. This is what life is all about. This is what we've gone through all the hard slog for us to moments like this, to live like European champions. So good evening, everyone. What a day to be fucking alive. My voice is slowly starting to come back. Really went for it last night. I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. Honestly, I was up all night, between the WhatsApp groups, Twitter, just chuckling away to myself. And the later the evening went on, the more of the Arsenal hater thing started coming out and everything. It was absolutely brilliant. I haven't even got round to going around trolling their channels yet. That's coming.
I mean, it's also the weight and the expectation and the drama and all the just tension. It's just been it's like a 20 pounds. It's just been lifted off my shoulders.
Oh,
Even with the pieces of pizza and everything that I had last night, I still felt like maybe I lost some weight. After yesterday, just maybe the weight of being a Spurs fan, and now it just feels like we're walking on cloud nine.
yeah.
We're in a beautiful meadow of flowers and Europa League trophies, really, just to be touching and strolling through, literally just strolling. It's going to be, like I said, a hot
Mm.
Spurs summer. Might need to order maybe some Spurs swimsuits or something like that just to, again, relive it day after day after day. I don't know about
Oh,
you guys. It does feel like a huge weight and tension has just been lifted. Like, even when, I saw in one of the members group chats, people are like, oh, who do we get rid of this summer? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, keep them all.
yeah.
Keep even Timo Werner. That's how delusional I've become. And I did forewarn everybody. I might turn into a Dermatron for the next year or so, where no matter how bad it gets, even the next season, I'll still predict, 5-0, 6-0. We're European champions. That's all I care about.
Yeah, look, I walked into the gym today and someone says, "Geez, Dave, you after losing weight?" I was like, "No, it's just 17 years of history, weight of expectation off my shoulders. That's why I look so glowing today." Someone even said, "Dave, are you pregnant?" I was just like, "No, I'm just glowing. I'm radiant, from that European win." And do you know what? I can't wait to get on the club shop now, Jack. There's been some tops in there that I've been eyeing
Oh,
up, and I'm going to celebrate with a few nice purchases. I'm even going to buy a goalkeeper top, one of the old retro ones.
yeah. I might need even to become a complete a-hole and just do streams and these sunglasses for the rest of the year just because I need
But
to block out all the haters, for the rest of the time because only the European champions get to wear shades like this, Dave.
Well, the thing is, as well, we're going to have to up our merch gear because no matter what day of the week it is, we're going to have wear the cockerel in some sort of way. And it's just
Yes.
sort of walking around, winding everyone up. You'll start seeing United fans run for cover. You know what I mean? It's going to be unbelievable. I can't wait because usually, you wear it around and you start walking by people, you start pointing and sniggering and stuff like that. Here, hold that bottle, chump, and all that. Now it's like, by the way, just hold that. Oh, wait, sorry, it's too heavy for you. I'll take that back. It's the European trophy. Fuck off. Come
I'll
on.
go for the cockerel the rest of the summer, but I've gone for the Ange Ball sweater today, everybody. And believe me, Ange, I probably haven't been the nicest to him at times, but I am shameless, and I'm so happy that we have gotten over the line thanks to the big man. But everybody, thank you all for joining us. Really looking forward to this Twitter Reacts. Already so many people in the house that I have to get to, so really do appreciate you all. Artist T talking about Rhino, I guess, not celebrating the trophy yet, saying it's a Mickey Mouse cup. I mean, It's funny because, it seemed
Ridiculous.
like Rhino was saying, a few rounds ago that Spurs are going to win it no matter what. The players are going to win it despite Ange Postecoglou. If you're talking like that sort of thing, you maybe are sort of giving some credit to the Europa League. You're saying if the players, right, are going to win it for themselves and the players are going to, do it for their own glory, then in a way, you're also saying that it's a huge trophy and it's a massive trophy if they're going to do that. But, you know,
Honestly, I don't want
it's
to
it's
hear
classic
about.
revisionism.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear it about being a Mickey Mouse Cup. At the end of the day, when West Ham won their Europa Conference League title, how many of us sat here and said,
I
Jesus
wish that
Christ,
was
we would
us.
love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Crystal Palace were picking up the FA Cup a few weeks ago, how many of us said, just we'd love scenes like that? When you look across the European football, outside of winning Champions League or the Premier League, the Europa Cup is the next best thing you can lift. It's the third most prestigious trophy in Europe. And also, I don't want to hear anything made about the run either. You go back and look at the run under Jose Mourinho. It was an easier run than the run we've had this competition. At the end of the day, it's fully earned, it's fully deserved. Only at Tottenham would we have such a monumental achievement, and Tottenham fans themselves would tear it down. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, good to see you, Artist T, man. I promise I will give you documentation of when I get the Jets pizza. Don't you worry, brother. Like I said, just probably last night wasn't the safest of nights to do so. Shawnee Maddox is in the house. Good to see you, Shawnee, saying champs of Europe, now feasting on everyone's tears. It is going to be a diet of everyone else's tears for a while now, Shawnee. Get the big, thermos out. Get the big jugular out, so that you can collect all of them. You're going to be doing a lot of collections for a bit of time. Good to see you, Jake, as well. Big up to Shawnee Maddox, that
Just,
absolute
did you
legend.
know Shawnee Mannix is an ansexual now?
Yeah, I think he's
He's converted.
he's shameless, Sean. He's shameless. He's happy to convert over. The apology forms are being signed on everyone's accord. To Luke saying, if you can't be happy with the European trophy and feel the need to tell everyone to calm down, you're a bellend and you need to stop watching football. Love that from Luke. Dark Sun G saying, Coys, Ange won us the biggest trophy possible out of the Carabao FA and Europa League, which is the Europa. I love how your youths won in the Europa before the Gooners and also Vicario before Raya, Kudi and Van de Ven before Gabriel and Saliva, and Bergvall before Odegaard. I think someone said that Danzo has more European trophies than William Saliba does, which I thought was a brilliant comment from somebody, Dark Sun G. PH family, Stevie, how are you, sir? Saying 17th in the league, 17 years of pain. Today we reset in the champions of Europe. Love that from you, sir. Good to see you in the
17
house.
and I don't give an F. We won a European Cup.
Jacob Anderson, what up, guys? Trophy is a trophy, and we are the champions.
Yes.
That's all that matters. And he's also saying, when you don't win anything for 17 years, I'll take any kind of trophy. I'm glad it was the Europa, though. Man, I love the Europa League. Like I said, it's just a competition. I do think Spurs, it's sort of our level. It's one I think it is achievable, but by no means is it a Mickey Mouse trophy of any kind. It's one that I've always wanted to see Spurs to lift. I think with the Champions League, let's be honest, it is kind of, the Real Madrids, and the Barcelonas, the Bayern Munichs, you got to be literally the best team in the world, to win that type of trophy. Whereas the Europa League, there's something about it that I think is a mystic glamour to it or something like that. And also, for some reason, the English teams don't seem to win it that often. It's usually the Spanish teams, the Italians, the Germans that tend to maybe go further and better in that competition than for some reason the English teams. I think it's really only been Chelsea and Manchester United that have been, the teams to have won it recently, if I'm correct.
Look, it's not so long ago we were celebrating the Walter Till Cup and the Tiger Cup. So, we've come a long way.
100%. Iceman, good to see you, Ricky. Big up Dave and Jack and the cheapy PFP change, profile picture change. I think it's the boys lifting the trophy. Good to see that, Iceman.
Nice.
Come on, you Spurs. Rewatch the highlights about 10 times. Van de Ven goal line clearance gets
Yeah.
better and better and better. Champions of
I
Europe has a great ring to it. I'll be honest, one of my favorite things about it, probably one of the worst games of football you could really ever watch, as a neutral. Just the stop and start, all the fouls called by the referee, just tons of set pieces that are just being booted away. There wasn't really any scintillating football from either team. And also the way that Spurs played in the final minutes. I think we must have had 12% possession or something like that in the final minutes. For me, Dave knows this. I'm a real sicko. I kind of enjoy that stuff. I love just sort of, being almost like you're part of the team, clearing every header, booting away, every cross, getting in the line, to block a shot. You're almost like you're there with the players, trying to see it out for the final minutes. And even it was like the game against Frankfurt where Dave and I were just counting down every 5 minutes as it goes on. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I actually, as a real sicko, as a kind of a lover of that type of football, I enjoyed every minute of it. But for a neutral, I bet it was one of the ugliest games to have ever watched
Oh,
in some time, which makes it even more brilliant, right? It's almost like people were tortured watching the game. Then they were probably tortured watching Spurs lift the cup afterwards as well.
do you know what? There's a beauty in shithousing yourself overnight. You
Yeah.
know, it almost makes people hate you more. I mean, I woke up this morning and I was like, finally, back to being the most hated team across Europe. I fucking love it. You know, this is the way it was supposed to be. It's the way it was under Pochettino. Everyone hates Tottenham and everyone hates us seeing us do well. It was glorious waking up this morning being the most hated team.
Yeah, absolutely right, Dave. Shemi Tan, how many kebab orders did you put in last night? Shem Tan said, "Hey, Jack
Yeah,
and Dave, glorious day in N17 neighborhood. Our red neighbors are all crying, and we are loving life." Yeah, man,
love it.
I'd say wear that kit with pride. Get as many kebab orders in, maybe even get one, for a few of the Arsenal fans so they can wipe their tears in the
No, just
kebab
leave
as
the
well. Shem Tan.
handkerchiefs.
Yeah,
Leave them the handkerchiefs. You eat the kebab, give them the hankies.
Good man, Shem. Michael W saying, living the good life with the monkey off our backs
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Absolutely right there, Shemmy Tan. Stevie Frazier, best midfielder around, saying, don't mind admitting, I feel pretty emotional when I woke up after I was so drunk on the dopamine. I only got 2 hours of sleep. Love my Spurs fam. We effing did it. Come on, you Spurs. I'm probably
Uh,
going to be really celebrating this weekend, Stevie Frazier. But for some
oh, yeah.
reason, I think it was just such a tiring day. So much, like expectation. I couldn't really, for some reason, muster, kind of the inner, kind of Kaniki in me to, kind of down, as many beers as I usually like to. I probably had many more beers after Bodo Glimt, after Frankfurt. I definitely had some
I
wild
think
nights after
Saturday.
those. But for this one, I don't know what it was, Dave. I mean, I told you in the back end, I didn't really have a heavy night at all. I'm not kidding. Like literally, probably in total, had a few beers. That's
See,
really
what you
what it
got to
was.
remember, though, Jack, is, we were over there for the Palace game off the back of the semi-final. Then you got back, we're straight back into this, getting up for the, I think it was the Aston Villa game, then straight into a European final. I think the emotion and everything yesterday, you got to remember, we were going for nearly 10 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
The emotion and everything else. When I was done, I was wiped out. But I just have a feeling tomorrow I'm going to go absolutely bananas down the Tottenham High Road. You see that guy sprinting up the high road in the snow? That might be me bollock naked sprinting behind the bus tomorrow night. Down at the parade.
Ride
It's
the
going to
bus.
be absolutely unbelievable. I cannot wait just to see a sea of white, blue flares everywhere. It's going to be amazing. I
No.
reckon your day will come Saturday where you'll just be out somewhere, it'd be nice, and you'll be like, "Do you know what? Fuck it, I'm just going in here and letting loose."
Yeah, that definitely will. Shawnee Maddox saying, I had a similar experience with the dopamine drunkenness, but it was actually alcohol, says Sean Maddox to Stevie Frazier. Donovan Osterreicher saying, chat, what do we say about Arsenal fans now? Shit. That's what I would say,
Yeah.
Donovan
What do we
Osterreicher.
think of Arsenal? Shit, that's all right.
Donovan Osterreicher saying, champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. Big up to you. Big
They
up to
don't even know
Jake.
what the weight of a European trophy feels like.
No,
They don't
no.
even know. They're embarrassed.
No, we don't even have enough arms now to carry our European trophies. We have 3 of them. Carl Higgins is in the house. Hello, all champions. Good to see you, Carl. MB Joker Davis as well, saying, I love being right. I mean, Eddie's had to battle away many of the
He's
Ange
been too
haters.
humble, though, Jack. He's been very, very humble. I don't
Really?
like it. Yeah, I feel like he should force the issue more. He got so much stick. I feel like he's been way too humble with it.
You think he needs to start printing out those apology forms and just sending
Oh,
them
yeah.
across the world? Yeah,
Yeah, well, me and Tyler, you haven't heard from Tyler today, but I need to find out he's got. We've had to send him around with the Romero apology form, so he's very busy.
Yeah, I think MV Joker Davis, just maybe head over to your nearest Kinko's or something like that and just get,
Kind of shop is
big.
Kinko's. Sounds a bit dodgy there. Maybe don't
No,
go
it's
there,
like a
Eddie.
FedEx. It's like a FedEx printing shop, but probably for you guys, it does sound a bit dodgy. Not really the American vocabulary, that you're probably used to, really. But yeah, you can use maybe a good print shop. Get as many of those sent out to and also demand all the PO boxes. Demand all the PO boxes and the addresses of all the people in the members' army, Eddie, and get those apology forms sent out straight away, sir. Kerry King, campeones, campeones.
Big up, Kerry.
Ole, ole, ole. Big up to Kerry, absolute legend. Jason Bell says, big up, everyone. Good to see you, Jason.
Big
He's
up,
also sent in a very generous donation as well, saying
Wow, big up.
chipping in a bit for you guys to buy some new Spurs merch in
Legend.
celebration. That's very kind, Jason. Get
Legend.
yourself some, Amanda. And also, as I know you're a fellow fan of the craps and the lovely beers, I'm curious if you had any specialty lined up, or maybe it was like a good whiskey or something like that, something to really, pop open. But I'm curious what, your evening was like last night, Jason Bell. Big up to you, sir. I think, you're also one of the Mount Rushmore sort of people of this channel. You've been with us for a very, very long time, sir. So appreciate you,
Big
love
up,
you,
Jay.
and thank you for the kind donation. Dave,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people probably had the good stuff, saved for last night. Maybe even the likes of Soren, maybe had probably the finest of whiskeys, maybe had to almost break open some glass or something in order to get it out like you would a fire extinguisher.
I'm trying to persuade that fucker to come down to the parade. He's sitting there. He's like, it's so tempting. I'm like, look, just say yes. It's
Yeah.
easy. Just say yes. Get in the car and let's go, man.
Right in on one of the cows or the horses,
Exactly, lad. Come in on the John Deere, even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. You might even need it. You might have to tow that bush. If we didn't pay the mechanic, we know we're short of cash flow. If we didn't pay the mechanic, we could be in trouble. You might even have to see us push the bus down the high road. How embarrassing would that be? No, look, I know my dad hit the very top shelf there last night. He was overridden with emotion when we finished here. I rang him, had a good chat with him, and he was like, "Look, son, I'm gonna hit the top shelf, and then I'm off to bed. I'm gonna go to bed a happy man tonight."
Yeah.
I was like, "That's all I needed to hear."
Yeah.
I think many people whipped out the good stuff. I wonder, did anyone even have a bottle of Moe or something like that in the fridge ready to go?
Oh yeah, or even a special tubs of ice cream, a little bit of cake, with a candle, blow it out, get a little trophy cake of some kind if you can. Spurs reign in Spain. Yeah, we sang it in France and we sang it in
Sang in
Spain.
Spain. We sang in the sun and we sang in the rain. They tried to stop us, but look what it did. The thing I love most is being a yid. Being a yid. Come on.
Big up.
Remember the
Absolutely
army.
raining down in Spain, and also raining Man United tears. Can't Erwin
Glorious.
saying, I had a bet with my father that if Spurs won, I had to run naked with the Spurs scarf around the village street, and I absolutely did. Pick up Erwin. Love that. I remember my days of doing some crazy stuff like that, and probably now I'm maybe a bit too much of a populated area. I think I'd probably have a whole police force, chasing after me. But then again, I'd like to think I'm pretty fast, actually, so maybe I would get away with it. Fazzy Radfar saying, big up my favorite channel. Congratulations to you all and all the fans and even the negative ones. Fazzy's just giving love to everyone. Big up.
Fazzy's loving everyone now.
Wasn't
Big
a
up,
4-1. It was a beautiful 1-0. I love a clean sheet, Fazzy. Absolutely loved that last night. And thanks for all the love that you showed Dave and I, my friend. Been very, very good to us over these years. Good to see Marquez. Good to see Daniel Field, Stevie Pryor saying, I had a really strange dream last night. So Stevie Pryor, very strange. Breckon, member for 6 months, saying, big up to all my fellow European champions. I think
big up, Breckon.
Maybe anytime, you go into a restaurant, Dave, maybe a nice one or something, you have to ask the waiter or the server to say, actually, it's not Dave Harris, it's European champion. Right this way, European champion. Here's your table, sir.
Well, like my mother rang me earlier on. She was like, "Oh, Dave, I hung up." When she texted me, she goes, "Why'd you hang up?" I was like, "Well, what did I say last night?
Yeah.
People now have to address me as sir. I'm a dignitary now. I'm a European champion. There's
Dave European champion Harris. That's your new middle
there's
name.
a certain level of respect that has to come my way now. So in fairness, she rang me back. She says, "Sir Dave," I'm like, "Now we can talk." Brilliant. So people are learning slowly.
Sir, European champion. It's a European champion summer here, everybody. Good to see you, Hatch. Good to see you, Fat Tony. Can't take off the glasses till we win the Super Cup. Says Fat Tony. Love that.
Without you,
Tottenham. Lee Moody, evening, gents. What an emotional, brilliant, and deserved night. We did it again. Big Anjin. Come on, Lee. Love that, sir. Also, Lee Nary's in the house. Big up, Dave and Jack. The atmosphere at White Hart Lane was fantastic last night. 40,000 of us there. Come on, you Spurs. It looked epic. It looked really epic. And also, fair play to Spurs for getting it done in that manner, too.
Seeing them storm the pitch last night, lad, on this sacred hollow turf. You just look at it, you're like jealous. I want to be there,
Yeah, no, you do have it's scenic stuff, and also just the limbs in the stadium in Spain, the limbs in the stadium of the White Hart Lane, stadium or Tottenham Hotspur Stadium it was brilliant. It looked amazingly. So I'm glad that you were able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Chance is in here. Good day, lads.
Big up, Chance.
He deserves it. I'm loving Big Ange instead. Hatch making a comment on what I said earlier, saying it was pure terrorist football, but exactly what was needed against a United team that always pulls out the magic out of the bag. If anything, it's just amazing to see them, just continue to just lump cross after cross after cross in, and just all these incredible blocks, clearances, some decent saves, you would say, from Vicario towards the end there as well. I think it was amazing to watch it go down that way. Chris is in the house, the absolute GOAT.
Come
Chris,
on,
good to see you,
Chris.
sir. Still buzzing. Good to have you with us, Chris.
You go,
Appreciate you
Chris.
and love you, my friend. Hopefully you had a great night last night. And I'm curious where you sit on that Ange fence, my friend. Would love to have you back on one of the fan shows, sir.
Well,
International.
he no longer has to go hiding in Newcastle now. He can wear his
No.
cockerel now, and the birds can fly together, flock together.
Oh, Spurs and yeah, exactly. Spurs Newcastle fans hand in hand as trophy winners. International Observer, we will win the champs next, mate. Remember where we were very comfortable in the Champions League under both Harry and Poch. We have now crossed that threshold. We are now winners. Levy, spend, and off. Yeah, I think everyone's looking for the checkbook. Should come out this summer for sure. All around Dave tonight for Curry. That's correct, Dave. I mean, the Indian man's
From
going
the
to be very.
house.
He's going to be India takeaway guy is going to be very, very busy with Dave over the next week or two. That's for sure. Sam DaCosta's in the house too. Good to see you, Sam. Looked like an epic time, my friend. And I think Dave is jealous. I'm jealous. We couldn't be there with you, but hopefully you had a wonderful time, and hopefully you got back all in one piece. Unless you are still over in Spain, still living it up.
Oh, Sam, we could have had our greatest night together, my man. Could have had our greatest night together. I just could not make it work. And I don't speak enough languages to be able to travel across Europe like that. I prefer to get English out of my mouth in a constructive sentence. But Sam, I will see you at the parade tomorrow, my man. And I won't take no for an answer. You got to come and enjoy it with me, man. Big up, Sam. Out there representing out there last night. Legend.
The Big D saying the joy, the relief, simply just magical, absolute dreamland. Yes, yeah. Big D. It's going to be magical dreamland for a while now. I don't think it really is going to wipe off our faces. I imagine you'll be talking to Spurs fans a month and a half, 2 months from now. They'll still just have that sort of smirk on their face. They'll still sort of have that just glow, and I think we all probably even got a tan or something from last night. It's just the tan of the glimmer of the European trophy just shining on us. It really is just exactly what we all needed. It's something that I think the Spurs fan base has just been waiting far too long for. And like I brought up before, it's just like a huge weight has just been lifted off of our shoulders. It does feel incredible, Big D.
Honestly, Big D, it's unbelievable. If someone said it back in in the height of it, back December, January time, this is going to be outcome of the season, I would have just said you're absolutely deluded. What drugs are you on? And I think you should start supplying them. You'd make millions. But here we are, and at the end of the day, I couldn't give a fuck what's going on this season. I've won a European trophy. For the next few weeks, I'm vibing out, and then maybe around 1 week out from the season, I might start talking about what we need to do heading into next season. But until then, I'm on summer vacay. As Jack says, a Hotspur summer this summer. But it's absolutely magical. And look, these nights don't come around often. That's why I say to everybody, even people that maybe still don't believe in Ange Postecoglou. Fuck it, park it to a side. We're European champions. 41 years since this last happened, and it could be another 40 years again. So, enjoy it while it comes around, walk around with the swag, with the aura. Before when you're sitting in rooms with Liverpool United fans and they're bantering each other and you jump in, they almost join forces whoa, whoa, whoa. Shut your mouth. You don't win anything. You can't even have this conversation. Now I can sit there and I can just banter. I can do that to the United fan. I'd be like, no, sorry, fuck off. You're out of here. I'll take over the reins now. It's unbelievable times. Big up, Big D.
Absolute legend. Someone made a correction. It's actually 4 European trophies, and I think I'm now missing. Which one am I missing? Is it the Cup Winners' Cup? Is that what I'm missing, Dave? It's like we've had, before it was called the Europa League, it was called something else, but, we've won that now 3 times, so maybe that's what I was referring to, but I think there's the Cup Winners' Cup, if I'm not mistaken, that Spurs have won. But is that what this is showing my age and just showing, how much of a, kind of an idiot I am when it comes to this stuff. And it'd be good to have Dermatron around for this. But is the Cup Winners' Cup the equivalent of, I don't think it's the equivalent of the Champions League. I think it was like a different competition for back then. Someone in the chat can also maybe answer me on that as well. But I was leaving that one out. You're absolutely right, sir. Tango bin Al-Sheed, good to see you. Iceman saying, Jack, you can keep your Kinkos.
Yeah.
I love that. Erwin, good to see you. Jason Bell saying, I was enjoying a ripcord from Daredevil. Very tasty double IPA from a local brewery. It sounds very nice, Jason Bell. Let me know, do you get like a frozen glass or do you put the glass in the fridge? Are you one of those kind of guys? I certainly am. I definitely like to keep my glass nice and cold, especially for the special stuff. Good to see you. Jason Bell, and Israel Uncovered. Amir, how are you, sir? Championes,
He was at the
championes.
game last night.
Ole,
What a legend.
ole. What a legend. Love that guy, Amir.
And you know what? He was going to try and help me get to the stadium if I could get to where he was as well. So what an absolute legend. Big up, Amir.
He's been very kind to us. Good to see you, Amir. We'd love to have you back on sometime,
Yeah.
brother. Rob Belcher saying from Ange Ball to Ange Wall. He's not only had a plan B, he flipped it a whole 360. Come on, you Spurs. Love that. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Chris saying still buzzing. 17 years of hurt. Put to bed. Come on, you Spurs. I mean, Dave, Chris is almost famous for, his big rants, his big, sort of blow ups, after some shameful performances from Spurs in the past. I wonder if we're going to be getting a happy clapper Chris, for the next year. He is capable of being a happy clapper as much as I think a lot of people love his rants, kind of like they love yours. But Chris, I think, is in a similar category to yourself where he also knows how to happy clap when he needs to.
But you know what? I do find Chris very funny when he happy claps. He gets going.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy it. I think he's equally as good. Look, hopefully now it means he can get back to happier times. And he can just start being cocky again, because that's where I think Chris is at his best. Big up, Chris. Good to see you, my man.
The Cup Winners' Cup was all countries'
in
Cup
the
Winners
60s.
competitions. It was the champions only. The Cup Winners' Cup was rebranded as the Conference League. European Cup transformed to the Champions League when they started allowing more teams in. So it sounds like it was kind of just its own special competition, in itself. By no means, was it.
I think they beat Wolves in it, if I'm correct, today. Is that true?
Yeah, Statue TV. Cup Winners' Cup is defunct. No competition took over. Back then, only the league winner was in the European Cup, and then the winner of the major domestic cup was in the Cup Winners' Cup. So it'd be like if you had won the FA Cup or, maybe the League Cup or something, then you would then go into the Cup Winners' Cup against other teams. So yeah, I don't think there really is an equivalent, to that maybe nowadays. Because now if you win the FA Cup, you go to the Europa League, which is, and the trophy that Spurs had won 3 other times. UEFA Cup, yes, Cup Winners' Cup. People getting back to me, appreciate you guys on that one. Also, again, just showing my age and showing my lack of experience and my lack of knowledge, as per usual. Shawnee Maddox saying, so can we get an I'm sorry, Brennan? Read it out. I think Dave has actually already jumped pretty quickly on the I'm sorry, Brennan train, and we'll get an apology form signed prompto, Shawnee. Listen, man, the guy to this day, just continues to amaze me. He does so little, but then at the same time, just pops up with the most important goals, and especially one like that one. I'm not too sure if he actually did touch it. It was hard to tell, really, because when I watched back the replays, it's really hard, to see if he even did get, a stud or anything towards it. But he made the run, and he was there at the right place at the right time once again. But if you heard me in the watch along, what I actually had more praise for was I would never have faulted him in that game for his effort. I thought he worked very hard off of the ball, tracked back, helped Pedro Porro, got stuck in a few times as well, was a very unselfish player, out of possession. And that's something I have accused him of not being, in other games, where it felt like you'd see Solanke, Richarlison working their tail off, in the press, and that Johnson would be 10 yards behind them, kind of just fast asleep for some reason. Would not have said that about him this game. I thought he worked his absolute nuts off, and that's where a lot of my praise, goes towards him, for last night, to be honest. Because that's something I rarely say about Johnson, but he really mucked in for that game.
Look, Sean, give me the pen. I'm willing to sign it. I'm willing to eat humble pie on this one.
The finest of pen.
Look, at the end of the day, I still stand by some of the points I've made about Brennan Johnson, that I still think if he wants to carve out a real career as a right winger at the top of the game, he does need to add that creativity to his game, and he could get a bit fitter. Stand by them comments. However, I look at the numbers. I can't deny them anymore. There's something there, and if he can just keep developing as a player, then maybe he can become that player that everyone said he can be. And I'm willing to eat humble pie. But best believe I will be around with my Postecoglou and Romero one. So, make sure you're ready to also commit and eat that humble pie with me, Shawnee, and sign on that dotted line, my man.
Yeah,
but I'm officially off Brennan Johnson's case for at least a year now. I'm really ready to sit back, let him work, and let's see what he can do. I'm willing to eat the humble pie. Look, I've always said, I am big enough to criticise people. I'm also big enough to come out and praise them and admit when I'm wrong. And on Brennan Johnson, I'm going to hold back, and I'm going to give him time to keep proving me wrong. So there you are, Shawnee, and every other Brennan Johnson fan out there. I'd say Drew's probably had to go for a lie down here and that. I'd say Dermot's probably, I don't know, he's probably nauseous right now listening to that. And Soren's also loving it as well. Look, I have no problem eating the humble pie whatsoever.
Shawnee saying, repeat after me. I'm sorry, Brennan Johnson. I'm sorry,
No,
Brennan
I'm not going to
Johnson.
say that. I'm like I said, I'm not willing to say I'm sorry. But like I said, I'm willing to say I was maybe a little bit wrong on that one.
Okay.
There we are. That's all you're getting.
So special asterisks on the apology
Gonna
form
turn
from
this fan on.
Davo there. Rakdos Madness, good to see you, Alan. Love to my fellow European champions, IrishHotspur. Alan, hopefully you're enjoying your start to the weekend, Memorial Day weekend for us Yanks. So it's going to be a nice long one for us, and we'll be hopefully wearing our Spurs kits all around town. Big up to you, sir. We also have Michael G. Kelly saying, wore the shirt around today and had strangers congratulating me. Still can't believe we did it. Absolutely right, Michael. It's wonderful now to be rocking around in the Spurs kit. I'll be going everywhere with it, be getting all my best stuff out. My smugness levels are at 100%, says Listed Lions. Love to see that. George Kadaris as well is in the house. In a Hype is in here. Daniel Larson saying, I feel like a new man, reborn as a winner. Big up, Daniel Larson. Love hearing that. Big D saying, big up Dave and Jack, and to everyone in the chat. Hope all was well. When the final whistle happened, I whipped out the jersey and went absolutely mental. There was no six-pack on show, just me and my keg. Love that. Big D. I wish I was there to down that keg with you. I would have absolutely demolished it if I was with people like yourself. Ellie in Vegas. Good to see you, Ellie. How we feeling? Are you traveling? I know you're a big traveler, Ellie. Are you traveling around with that Spurs kit on the various flights that you seem to go on? Big up to you, Ellie, the big traveler. We also have Mick Doherty, Goober in the house, Shemi Tan saying, anyone know where the Champions League final will be next year? Got to book my flights and my hotel early. I think Dave is probably thinking about booking his hotel and booking his flights early to get over to the Champions League. I'll take a look at it right now. Where is the next Champions League going to be? Have they already announced it? Let's find out for you, Shemtan. Next Champions League final location. This year it's the Allianz Arena, but when's it going to be next year? Let's go 2026. That's probably what I should have looked up here.
Surely they haven't announced that yet, have they?
Well, he wants to book his flight early. 2026, they're saying Puskas Arena.
I think the Super Cup is in Italy, isn't it?
They are saying, maybe this is wrong. I'm not sure how accurate this information is, but they're saying 2026 Champions League final will be held in the Puskas Arena in Budapest.
Hungary.
Yeah. Get to have a little trip over to Hungary. Budapest is also supposed to be a glorious, glorious city. So it should be a lot of fun for you, Shemtan. Get those flights booked early, my friend. Get them booked early. We also have John McCarthy in the house, TGK, Carl Higgins, Nitro DJ, Ash P. Good to see you, Ash P.
Big up, Ash.
She's saying, I apologize, Brennan Johnson. Big up, Ash P. Bigger man than me. Sham DaCosta had people congratulating me too when I got home to London again, but also everyone on the Bilbao locals were absolutely loving that we beat them. Yeah, fair, because they lost to Manchester United. And also I wonder
some of the workers were wearing Spurs jerseys and that behind the counters and that is brilliant.
Yeah, that is good. You wonder also too, like maybe a team like Bilbao, they're definitely a historic side, but they don't maybe win something like all the time. They have that very, very special recruitment strategy of, bringing people in to have that connection, to the Basque region. So when they do win a trophy themselves, it's also a huge, huge deal, for them. So you wonder if they had just sort of sympathy for maybe kind of Spurs's, time and situation as well. I wonder if that also played a part in it. Stevie Frazier saying, I'm not owing any apologies and said all season we were winning silverware, so I don't owe anyone either. Stevie Frazier, good to see you, sir. I caught up with, I think, mostly everyone. Just a harmless potato, you absolute legend. Good to see you in with us. Dave. Oh, Chris is also saying, David and Jack, happy clapper. Chris is certainly back. Good. Happy clapper mode engaged.
I've missed him.
To see that. I think everyone, even if you've never been in maybe your own head a happy clapper, I think most people will be. We'll probably now see Leighton Evelyn. Leighton Evelyn, where have you gone, sir? Has he gone to hiding, or is he just trying to engage? I think he's secretly been a happy clapper the whole time.
For sure. He lives his happy clapper to us, Jack. He looks at us and he's envious, and then he just, I love him, though. I do love him. He's the most negative person that I actually like.
Yeah, I think we'll be seeing everybody turn into happy clappers very shortly. They're just going through their transformation. But let's get into this one, Dave. Start off with
Let's
this one.
go.
The time of when I had plenty of beers and got plenty of sunburn and probably didn't have enough to eat, and I fell asleep on the Piccadilly line. Thankfully, woke up just a couple of stops before getting off. At my desired location, but of course, was taken advantage of by a West Ham fan, and now I've decided to have the last laugh, and I found myself a pillow, Dave.
Look, of all the things they say that happens on the underground, they never said voyeurism was one of them. But, what I love here is that we've reclaimed that picture. They almost set it up for us to reclaim it back. Found yourself a lovely little pillow there. What we need to do is actually get this trending. So if everybody on your socials could get onto the Irish Hotspur Twitter page and start retweeting it and send it around everywhere, get it going viral and reclaim it and throw that one back at West Ham, that would be epic.
And then we also
Glorious reclaim.
let me just take a look at some of these that Dave tagged me in. Daniel Levy's speech post game. Do you know if there's any music in the background, Dave, by any
No.
chance? Okay.
Listen, this has been a very long time coming. 1984 was the last time we won a European Cup. And tonight we've made history. And I want to thank Ange and all the coaching staff, all the players, but you guys have gone down in history. Thank you very much. This is a magnificent achievement for the club that hopefully is going to get us on the road where we absolutely deserve to be, which is at the very top. Thank you very much.
Pretty standard from our man Daniel.
He should have ended it in Coy's Daniel there.
Oh, absolutely should have. I think that was one.
We've got our club back.
I think that was like Michael, from Poland's, kind of, username or something was Koi's Daniel, for a long time. He definitely should have ended it in that.
What do you make of him saying thank you to Ange Postecoglou? Because some have sort of seen it and said, maybe interpret it as, that's maybe alluding to that this is done and dusted between the club and Ange Postecoglou. But when I was looking, I just thought genuinely that's just a thank you,
I think he just thanked. I think the manager is like, even when you hear the final whistle, right? You hear then, the commentators and the match, commentators. They were saying, Spurs have done it. Ange Postecoglou has done it. It's that sort of thing. Like you usually just mention the manager at the same time as also mentioning, the club. I think, if you kind of get what I'm saying, like it's just, they're kind of sometimes synonymous with each other. But then also because the manager's job is the hardest job there is, it is. You're put under all the pressure. When everything's going great, you get the credit. When everything's going poorly, you get all the blame. And so I think that's just comes with the territory, really. Mikel Arteta, I always win trophies in my 7th season. I actually saw a different version of this one, Dave. They said 8th season.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
I love it.
Let's see what else we have here. I actually should have just clicked on the tweets themselves to bookmark them, but give me a second here, everybody. Just operating in I'm on slow mode right now, as you can tell, after being a European champion. I'm on delay for the most part. This was Danzo, Dave.
Look at these. This is me last night going into the bedroom. This is unbelievable. Wait until he gets going. Yeah, here we go. Come on.
Wait.
Rhythm is a danzo. He's my soul companion. Look at that. Oh, look at that. I love it.
Probably find him in
if
Mayfair.
I could move like that in a nightclub, you'd be the life and soul of the party. Look at that. He's gone reverse cowgirl and everything. It's unbelievable there for Danzo.
You'd probably find him in Mayfair in West London.
Look at that
dancing
moves.
it up. Yeah, 100%.
Rhythm is a Danzo. Beautiful.
I saw this. I think I had this as well, maybe, Dave, but I'm glad that you found this one too. Pop Matasar, just like us, isn't he? Just nervously shaking, watching he couldn't even watch. But also,
He's being consoled.
Pop Matasar too, like what a performance this guy put in, in my opinion, too. Like this guy, he just never stopped running. The engine in this guy, the engine in him to be in the shape that Pop Matasar is in. Him, Bentancur, Basuma. I actually would argue, even though Romero did win man of the match, I would give it to the midfielders, just any one of them. I thought actually from minute 1 to minute 90, Bentancur, Basuma, Sarr, I thought they were all incredible.
Sarr was unbelievable last night.
Yeah, he's your man of the match. He would have been your man of the match.
Yeah, look, do you know why, Jack? I think, it was him that robbed that ball, that led to the goal. It was him that put that cross in. It was a beautiful cross. And In the second half, it was him popping out of that midfield, forcing that ball backwards, doing a lot of endless running, trying to turn the ball over. And that's something that me and you have always maintained that he's absolutely brilliant at, and he's vital in the midfield for that reason. You know, what a performance. I'm delighted because he's a guy that got a lot of stick. People were questioning, should we cash in on him this summer? I think after yesterday's performance, there's definitely a place for him in the squad. I take, can he improve his game further? Yeah, of course he can. But I just hope that, I was delighted for him yesterday because the amount of unwarranted stick I think he got.
Yeah. Jason Bell saying, Pape was a surprise starter for me, and he absolutely delivered, though. Ash P saying, I liked the Arteta meme that said, second every season, mate, versus Ange, second season, mate. Nitro saying, Danzo from MK Dons to European champs with Spurs. Yeah, what a journey, that guy has had. You're absolutely right.
What dance moves.
Tango Bin Al Sheet, Danzo, Danzo, Danzo in the streets. I also had this one too, Dave. I'm glad. Moment. Yeah, this was nice, to see from the players. Pedro Porro getting him in there. I mean, do you think Ange is just a humble guy that he just didn't really feel the need to throw himself into the picture? Like he's happy just sort of being off to the sidelines there?
He's always been like that when it comes to success. He's always sort of wanted the players to enjoy them moments and stuff like that. Even at Celtic in the end of the season when he was winning stuff and he had to do speeches, he almost had to like push him into it. He doesn't like doing it. He doesn't like being the center of attention when it comes to like celebrating and shit like that.
Yeah. If anything, it probably should have been the referee, to throw himself into the trophy lift because he was the one that seemed to love to be the center of attention last night with all the calls he was making. Also, maybe also to Spurs last night, right? That referee, you think he was, people were saying, I'm not sure if it's correct, was he the one that was the referee against Liverpool for us in the Champions League final, some people were saying? Or
I don't know. All I remember is he got done for match fixing in the German 4th Division years ago.
Well,
but if you go back, like on that video, you don't have to go back into it, but on that video, it clearly shows that anyone that's been subscribed to the narrative of the squad ain't playing for him, they don't like him, they're doing it for themselves. The fact that they've forced him into the celebrations and forced him into the middle of it, unbelievable. It shows that they are together, and that narrative isn't true. This was class.
Yeah, getting ready for that Champions League
play because the Champions League team tune is in the background, I don't think, but it's unbelievable.
But yeah, that was real class. I had a few of those too, so I'm glad that you had them. This one, Dave, Arsenal fans waking up in the morning.
Oh, brilliant.
The Europa League champions have landed, Davo.
Beautiful. I will see every single one of you tomorrow.
Look at the trophy at the bottom there on the tarmac. Beautiful. Just gorgeous to see. Basuma, there's Unreal vibes. Then there's Yves Basuma vibes. Look at this, Dave.
Did you see that?
I wish I could play the music in the background, but I'd get in trouble.
He's loving it. Look at that. He loves it. Do you know what? Did you see the video of everyone walking out the dressing room?
This was Dave last night.
Yeah. Archie Gray's never seen anything like it before.
He's amazed. Yes.
But you know what? I also seen a video last night, and it was Yves Basuma walking out of the dressing room towards the bus, and everyone's walking out with like the jersey and the kit on, whatever. He walks out topless with this big boombox behind him. It was hilarious. Blaring music. What a legend.
Ass out and everything. It was just great to see. Ed Sweeting, good to see you.
Big up, Ed.
Saying exactly right, boys. For the goal, he did two things right: tackle and the cross, 100%. Good to see Dermatron join us, saying, I did tell you guys my boy Johnson would score the winner. I still can't believe it. Yeah. Eugene S is in the house as well. Big up, boys. We did it. Couldn't sleep with the champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. Stuck in my head last night. Love that from you, Eugene. Big up to Richie. He says, I want him gone, but fair play. My passion merchant. Oh, he's definitely a passionate man. And thank you, Dermatron, for the super sticker as well. He's got the shades on, just like me, Dermatron. Get your finest shades out. Get your finest champagne out, my friend. Good to have you with us. Chris, Dave, this was the one I wanted to show you. That walk into work tomorrow.
That would be me walking through Dublin Airport tomorrow in my Spurs gear.
So good. That one was one of my favorites, Harry Rio, a lot of people call out Spurs for not being able to win a trophy. Bale, including you.
Come on, what a legend.
Bale was great. Yeah, he was just beaming as well.
Do you know what, though, Jack? What I love most coming out of this Europa League final Madison used his interviews to hit back at the way people call out the football club. Postecoglou has, Bale has. It seems like there is now that united front that I've been calling for a long time to start hitting back at these narratives, hold them accountable. I love it.
Finally, good to see some Spurs pundits on some of these, things, because usually it's just a host of Man United or Chelsea or whichever, right? Having to talk about Spurs. It's nice to actually see guys that actually do care about us, that do want to see us succeed. Fluid Gridity saying, I've seen us finish second and win nothing. I've now seen us finish 17th and actually win something. I prefer the latter. I think, we can definitely all attribute to that. Talking THFC, I can't help but be emotional. This was Ange, getting hugged by the staff and everything after the game. Look at Jed Spence as well. He went absolutely nuts, after winning
he was so far away from it. Yeah, even a year, 6 months ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can see Ange here, but look at Jed Spence if you kid him at the corner there. Look at him. I
knew when we seen Ange walking in with the t-shirt yesterday, Jack. I remember saying it to you before the game. I was like, we're winning this. He's ready.
The sleeves could not have been more rolled up. They couldn't have gone any higher. My only analysis is that Pop Matasar is amazing, says JJ Bull. I thought he was sensational last night. Just the ground that guy can cover is just ridiculous. He has those long legs, but he has the engine motor, to go forever as well. He just didn't stop running. Like I remember even before he was subbed off, he never stopped.
He's N'Golo
Kante. Very good reference. Yeah. Jesse Painman, Cootie was not this emotional when he won the World Cup. People say that he doesn't care about the club, Dave.
Madness. Absolutely madness, this from the outset. Like, when we were having a debate show a couple of weeks ago about Christian Romero, I was actually surprised the amount of people that were saying, just go. The narrative that's been formed around him that he doesn't care about the club, doesn't love the club. He absolutely does. Look at that. Tell me he's not delighted. He doesn't love this football club. But not only that, it's some of the other stuff, some of the other videos I've seen. I don't know whether they're included or not, but I think Johnny put one up. When they were walking off the pitch at half time, United players were sort of walking in individually. Romero stopped, got the Spurs players into a huddle, and made them all walk down together like a unit. Unbelievable. After the game, he can't help himself but still rile up the likes of Slaphead Maguire.
Yeah, that was great.
He is the epitome of an unbelievable footballer combined with the shithouse mentality that I absolutely adore. Yeah. This guy, we need to get him to sign to a new contract. But before he does, he's told me, Dave, you are going to have to collect apology forms. So I've got all the names noted. I will be in contact.
I think he's the reincarnation of Sergio Ramos, as I said many times before, and I think we sometimes forget that. Eugene S. saying, I take back from my Romero slander, true captain's performance. Well, as Dave has already gotten in an apology letter there. Big up to you, Eugene, absolute legend. AK Shag saying, Dave, is that the famous Indian we always hear about?
Huh?
Maybe he's eating or something. I think AK maybe isn't seeing what you're eating, so he's saying,
I'm just Indian takeaway? I'm eating a Mr. Freeze. It's roasting here. I've got the fan on. I was starting to sweat, so I needed a Mr. Freeze to cool me down. No, I've already been speaking to the Indian guy. He wanted to serve it up to me last night. I was like, buddy, don't have time. Gonna have to do it Thursday night where I can kick back and relax. So he said I have to be down there for, I think it was 8:30, and he's gonna have everything ready for me.
DB, good to see you, DB, saying, come on, just checking last night actually happened.
It happened, DB.
Yeah, it's not a dream.
It happened, Danny boy.
It's real. It's real, DP. You don't have to pinch yourself anymore. G pointed this out from 2017. Last tweet until Spurs win either the Champions League, the Premier League, the Europa League, or the FA Cup. He is now awake.
He's back.
And THFC, Tottenham's two most iconic European nights, and Andre Onana was in goal for both of them.
Legend, club legend, hang it in the loop.
My favorite goalkeeper now. Zeus saying this was hilarious. Biggest sliding doors moment in our history. Sonny missing the chance that would have, given Arsenal the title to now lifting the trophy for Spurs. It's just, if anything, that's legend. That's legendary in itself. That's legendary.
Oh, of course it is. You already heard Lee. You remember Lee Gunner and all on AFTV when he missed it. He's done it on purpose, this, that, and the other. And he has done it on purpose, and then to come back with a trophy, because their whole narrative is, we'll always win something before you, you'll never win anything. And it's like, well, we won something before you now, and we've also stopped you from winning something. How brilliant is that?
Can't get more proper coys than that. You really
I
can't.
wonder
You
how
can't-
Ange feels about them 2 images now.
You can't get more proper Spurs than Sonny now after those 2 images. Those 2 images alone. No, you can't get more proper Spurs. Tottenham, Arsenal, error not found. Great.
What a bunch of bottle jobs.
Oh, Dave, this was
this
great.
guy.
You and I saw this in the watch along.
Yeah.
Out of context.
Look at
my
him. He's
God.
delighted. Look at him. He's buzzing to be on telly, and then wait for it. Gosh. There we are. It's like someone told him he couldn't have a kebab after the game, and he's broke down in tears.
No, he couldn't have a Mr. Freeze like you, Dave. He was disappointed because he was probably roasting after he saw Spurs lose or Spurs win. Sorry, Billy saying a bad day to be a house key in Tottenham. Bell saying, and I'm pretty sure I can play this one, so I might as well try to. This one, Dave.
I know he's gonna wild out and he's gonna do something crazy. Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
And in the press conference.
That's brilliant. I guess we'll never know.
Matt Spurs 17th, 21 losses and qualified for the Champions League. Drink it in, everybody. Drink it in. Much better photoshopping than what I was doing earlier. Too.
That's
Great work. Second season, mate. We beat Madrid twice.
Do you know what's annoying me about these pictures? They keep putting like water bottles and that in Arteta's hand. Just put the light bulb in. It's man-made for it.
Get
Just
Gunner
get the
the
light
dog.
bulb in there. Yeah, connection and everything else. You know, fucking idiot.
Get the Gunner the dog in there. DC. Someone photoshopped Odegaard at the camera and lit up lifting the trophy. It's one of the best ones.
He's the new club photographer now, Oodie Woody.
That's one of the best ones.
That is absolutely brilliant. Give that a like. There's an icon. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I need to retweet that. Some of these, I need to actually almost go back. I just need to remind myself of some of these. This one was incredible from Matt L. This one is incredible. You know, guess we'll never know. Billy's is hilarious. Bad day to be a house key. This, the error not found. Biggest sliding doors moment. It's absolutely cracked stuff. We also have Simon Yemaine, our 3 captains. They did it together. There it is. I think that's Sonny, Bentancur, Romero, all together. Bentancur, if anything, also, I just feel like, once again, maybe quietly, just to somehow maybe not gotten as much praise, because that dude, again, I just think in possession just oozes class. Barely, gives the ball away. Got stuck in. Such a good emergency defender. Whenever there's a bit of a sketchy situation, he clears it up. A bit like Pop Matasar too, Dave, the ground that he can cover, in a game. He's just all over the place. I thought it was a Mercedes Benton class performance, last night.
It's another good quality performance from him again yesterday. There was one bit in the first half where I was expecting it to just be ballooned long, and he just put this lovely little pass inside. And then it's just the way effectively he gets around the pitch. Again, he's another one that broke out from midfield to try and help Solanke on the press. Very good performance. Love that hug from Romero and Postecoglou and Bentancur and Sonny at the end.
Yeah. Rob Ragnarsson saying, "Damn it, I need a second season mate shirt."
Yeah.
Need one of those. DB saying, "Brilliant." Tango bin Al Sheed is laughing. Eugene S saying these memes are gold. PHFC. Eugene saying making fun of kids is terrible, but at the same time it's hilarious. GHFC till we die saying it's 1984 all over again. I have not slept. Hey, Dermatron the Prophetron.
Big up there, but honestly, I worry for that guy. He probably won't sleep until we win another one.
DJ AK, good to have you with us, sir.
Big up, DJ.
Legend.
Get the decks ready.
Get the decks ready. Get it ready for a week. You're going to be going, like Berlin. You're going to be going for weeks on weeks. DJ AK. Daniel Harris saying, big team Harris checking in. Can't believe we won it. One of the best nights of my life. I cried, and I think we all at one point have shed a tear at some point, if not will be for a while now. Harris.
Are we on gin now, Danny boy? You got to let me know the answer to the question. But big up, Dan. Look, it's what we're in this. It's what we're in. It's why we're in this business. It's why we support Tottenham Hotspur. Nights like this, unbelievable, Dan. Do you know what? Surprisingly, tears still haven't hit me yet. I think they will come to me at some point. I'm just not sure when. I'm too tired. I'm actually just too tired today to cry, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I get you. Sean Walsh saying, "I've never seen scenes like this. Absolutely
Unbelievable.
speechless. Very in the club, I think. In my opinion."
Better fans than I was, because I would have tried to cut out a square patch of that turf and brought it with me.
Yeah, they do that in Germany. That's a big thing in Germany.
Yeah.
These football saying it's honestly like something out of The Office, the way the camera zooms in on Bale after catching Rio looking crestfallen. That's what I'm saying. Bale is just like, it's just beaming, the entire
Yeah.
time. It was just class. King Hoddle is there as well. Glenn Hoddle.
Love that. He's
He's
buzzing.
enjoying it. But look at Rio's face here. Gives away the mic too. And then just look at Bale. It's really actually quite brilliant. Just enjoying the scenes. Enjoying the scenes as
Looks
well.
like Pierce Brosnan there.
He looks class, Gareth Bale, my favorite ever Tottenham player. Poseidon saying only Tottenham could sincerely, in a mere 3 seasons, replicate the "would you rather" 4th or 17 and a trophy experiment. Like I was saying, it's like what you hear on Talk Sport a lot of times, like those ridiculous questions of like, okay, like would you take relegation but you win like a European trophy? It's like, come on, like that never happens. Like that's an unrealistic question. And then Spurs actually have done something to that effect, to almost make it seem like it is, in a way, a legitimate question to ask somebody. Like, would you take that? And a lot of people are like, oh, come on, never would, or come on, ridiculous questions. Spurs have actually lived it.
Honestly, it's like we are a social experiment. It's like someone was listening to all of the social medias and going, okay, we'll put that to the test. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, like I think it's like Andy Goldstein, at Talk Sport. He always asks those absurd questions sometimes where he goes like, would you get relegated to the championship, then get relegated to League One, but then you actually win like an FA Cup? It's like, come on, no one actually, ever does that. Like it's not a thing, but it ended up, happening. Daily Hotspur, Gareth Bale, it could be a United-y thing now. That's what I'm saying. It's good to actually see Spurs pundits, on the screen. Jamie O'Hara, Dave.
Where's Cundy?
Oh my gosh. It was a long shift.
This guy played for Spurs. You think he'd be fucking buzzing?
He hates us. He absolutely hates. Even like I laugh at it because he is a professional shithouse. This guy.
He's a professional. Yeah.
Yeah, but
he wouldn't be on Talk Sport if he wasn't.
Like even I watched the night before the game. Jamie O'Hara was asking him. He goes like, what did you say to Newcastle? He goes like, oh, congratulations, Newcastle. What did you say to Crystal Palace? He goes, congratulations, Newcastle. And then he goes like, and then what about if Spurs win? He goes, he just sort of like goes silent. Just doesn't even say, he can't even say it. Well done, Tottenham. It was just, he is a professional shithouse. This guy. That's the reason I kind of like him. But I could see why people get riled up by it. It is incredible for a guy that's played for the club. He could not hate us anymore.
What a picture.
Yeah,
honestly,
David.
so
Stream
much
stuff.
respect.
New screensaver.
Players like Kane and Eriksson bailed out to go and win trophies elsewhere, which don't mean as much to them. Sonny stuck around, and this means absolutely everything to him. Honestly, whatever Son wants to do from here on out, where if he wants to go somewhere else or he wants to continue on, I'm okay with it. He deserves whatever he wants to do. He's earned it. This guy, when everyone else walked away, sat there and said, no, I'm going to stick true and I'm going to deliver a trophy for these fans before I ever depart this football club. And I'd say he's probably one of the only players in my lifetime who's actually cherished the Tottenham support, where it's almost, when it's come to decision time, should I stay or should I go, he's took into account the fans' support for him at the club, and that's weighed in his decision to stay. Whereas other people's, they don't really appreciate it. They say they do, but they don't. Some does. What a hero.
C-Max
as well.
Yeah, well, very well said, Dave. It's a gorgeous picture of our Capitan, our main man, our captain. C-Max, come on, you Spurs. Good to see you in the house, C-Max. Polly Cooper as well. Ash P saying, I shed a tear. I cried like a baby for practically a whole hour. DB saying, my grown-up head on Ange still has to go. My fickle head, saying, my fickle Spurs supporting Braden saying he has to stay.
We're fickle, DB. We're going with fickle this week.
Yeah, I love that, DB. Love the honesty about it. We also have Paul Brown. Good to see you, Paul. Saying, good evening, David Jack. Obviously not the usual deflated emotions. All can think it's one day since winning a trophy. It's been a fabulous feeling. Yeah, man, it's incredible, dude. It's absolutely incredible. Ash P saying, I actually said on a Fan Collins show that I would take 17th in a trophy. Spurs said challenge accepted. Definitely.
Yeah, hold my beer.
Rob Frank, good to see you. We have the other Chris in the house. Good to see you, Chris. Ian Ferguson, good to see you, my friend. Sonny has earned the right to do whatever he wants to now at this point, says Ian Ferguson. Spurs diehards, Adrian Shroka has joined us. Good to see you, Adrian. Drew Zilla, how we doing, Drew? How you doing the night after, my man? How you feeling? I bet you got some good sleep, got some good tears out, had maybe a nice little drive around. Hopefully you're wearing that Spurs kit all about town, my friend. Good to see you, Drew. Good to see Mike Warmington in the house as well. Cy Comps here saying, best shit I've ever read. I'll put it up on screen for you guys. This is what it looks like to stand on business. Told the world he wins trophies in his second season. And guess what? Wore it as bond. Said it with his chest and wore it on his shoulders. Took that pressure and turned it into a diamond. Told the media he's no clown and made them look like jokers. Real king shit. Crunk ain't dead and real men are back in style. Had no cane, but still rose up like the Undertaker. Bench son, but still managed to father United. When you are dealt bad cards, it's all about how you play your hand. Homeboy just showed he had a plan the whole time. Good day, mate. Aussie rules. Love that from Psychops there.
Brilliant.
Spurs Express rejected Manchester United to win trophies.
What a decision, eh?
Lee Gunner, what phase is Ange Postecoglou in?
We're only in phase 1.
This stuff was brilliant from Paddy Power, by the way.
Yeah.
He had some brilliant stuff last night. They're all picking up from the barbecue. They're class. They are absolute class over there.
I've seen another one where they're taking United, doing escapes for football fans, and they took a United fan to the Faroe Islands.
I have that one. Yeah, that one's incredible. It's incredible. They're like, I haven't seen the Premier League in years, and he goes like, "How have Man United done?" They go like, "Oh yeah, we won the league." He goes, "Oh yeah, some things never change." It's so funny. Ben Haynes, this moment for the boss. What a night! Just enjoying it with his family. Beautiful.
Do you know what an unbelievable moment that is for him, and vindication for him, just from a family perspective. The stuff that's printed about and put out there, and look. You get that as being a public face of a football club. That hurts these people too, reading and seeing all of that, It does. And, to have that moment at the end and just go, do you know what, babe? I told you we'd stick through it and we'd be all right in the end. Unbelievable moment for him.
Shawnee Maddox, thank you, Shawnee. Very kind, saying smash the like button, everybody, if you haven't already. Very kind of you, Shawnee. Drew Zilla, coys. He's saying, I'm going full kit, full shin pads.
Yes, Drew Steve, big up, my man. I tried ringing him last night.
Yeah.
I wanted to know if he was all right, and then the Johnson goal as well, I'd say he was in dreamland.
Artist T saying, Rory Jennings even apologized to Ange Postecoglou. That's brilliant, Artist T. That's brilliant. Fixed it for you. It's the lads, it's Tottenham Tifo. Mate, it's United.
That should be our team talk next year.
Flav saying, just you wait. This was, I think, in response to Jamie Carragher, right? Who multiple times was saying that we weren't going to win it. We're going to be Spursy in the final. And I think Flav had told him, just you wait. And now he's just said it again. Brilliant from Flav. Someone said in the comments, second coldest statement of all time from Flav. Maurizio Pochettino on Instagram even congratulated Spurs. Congratulations to the Spurs family. Come on, you Spurs. We also have Zeus saying we're going to be talking about that night in Bilbao for the rest of our lives. Look at the scenes there. Look at that picture as well. Just a sea of white.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Look, my dad's always spoke about 84. You hear Dermot speaking about the 1963 one. You know what I mean?
And now we know what it's like. Yeah.
Now we have our times, Jack. Now we have our one to speak about. Unbelievable.
Lost the dressing room, says Daily Hotspur.
Look at that. Oh, I love that.
The guy's pure. I know, Eugene said, he's Richarlison's the passion merchant. I mean, Pedro Porro certainly is as well. Can't stop thinking about the fact that not only did these guys play, but they scored goals in a European trophy winning campaign. That is absolutely unreal. I think this was your favorite moment of the entire campaign, right? Was the fact that guys like this did get to score for the club and contribute.
Do you know what it was for me, Jack? A couple of years ago when I first started talking about some of these academy kids and that, when we were doing the watch-alongs, there was a good core group with us. But then, on the general outside perspective, a lot of people sort of shut me down on it, and saying, no, Dave. And it just feels like, this season, seeing them step up on that stage was sort of vindication to a certain degree, that the talent is there that I've been sort of speaking about or trying to, alert people to, that is there coming through. The talent is there, that sometimes instead of going out and spending billions and millions of pounds on other people, same age and stuff, give some of these guys their opportunity. And when we have this season, they've took it with both hands. So if I do like that's, I'm absolutely buzzing for them. Absolutely buzzing for them. But I also feel a little bit vindicated with it as well.
We also have John the Fisherman saying, I was out at Chicago Manchester United bar last night, yesterday, rocking my Tottenham gear. Enjoyed taking in all the United tears. Big up to you, John the Fisherman. Hand up, says Ian Ferguson, I did doubt Ange, never been happier to be wrong in my life. Donovan Osterreicher saying it's Werner on the dance floor. Big up, Donovan.
I think that's
Dave,
one for 3 a.m. Saturday night when the celebrations are rounding down,
Yeah.
That you hear that one, Werner. You hear someone start going Werner on the dance floor. You're right, I'm out, I'm done.
Dave Ellis, this is the best part about Romero, right?
I love this guy.
This guy, he just brings, I don't know. I love these type of players. I really do.
It's beautiful. Like, what is he even doing there? What is he even doing in there amongst the United players? It's great to see.
Yeah.
Just still can't help but wind them up.
And he's still getting into it afterwards. Look at him still getting into it.
And I love the fact he's a lone ranger in there. He doesn't even need anyone to go in with him. Do you know what I mean? No. He's just gone in on his own. It's unbelievable. It's a bit like Tom Hardy in Mobland. You know what I mean? Just goes around sorting it. It's brilliant.
I mean, let me know, everybody. Would you rather 100 men versus one gorilla or 100 men versus one Romero? I think I'd rather face the gorilla, if you ask me, everybody. Tottenham Hotspur, a third European trophy added to the cabinet.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. Who said we don't have a trophy cabinet?
No, and also Arsenal now a few behind, in terms of those trophies.
Well, we're going to have to start getting the cobwebs blown off there soon, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty sure. Cody Mack saying, how does it feel to win a trophy? Everything is better, even stupid stuff like adding sugar to my coffee this morning. Everything is better except my voice, LOL, which is absolutely gone. I think Dave feels very similar.
Oh, lad, I was saying to you, I done a 5K on the treadmill there today in the gym, and I was smiling the whole way through it,
Cuti Romero won man of the match for the Europa League final. I thought he was sensational. I mean, who was your man of the match, though, Dave? If you were to give it to somebody, you think it's Pop Montessor, right?
Look, I think there's a few players that I can sort of give it to last night, Jack. I think, look, Papa Montessor, I think, was absolutely unbelievable. And, look, maybe I'm just feeling a bit emotional towards Sarr because he has received a lot of criticism, but he stepped up in the biggest game, in the biggest moment when we really needed the guy to. I feel like Brennan Johnson was also a run-in for man of the match yesterday. Look, not only did he score his goal, which, he's been brilliant at in that exact type of scenario all season long, but he ran his nuts off for the team. At times I've questioned, is this guy going to sacrifice himself for the team? And he done that last night. He got on the press, he turned ball over, he was tracking back, didn't leave Pedro Porro exposed. It was a great performance from him. Okay. And then Romero as well, I thought was brilliant last night. Mel Ball's coming into the box, he's dealing with it, clearing it, smashing people with tackles all over the pitch, starting little arguments as well to slow the game down, rolling around on the ground, slowing the game down even though there's nothing wrong with him. Thought a great, epic Argentinian performance from Romero yesterday.
Ian Ferguson saying, my United-loving brother still hasn't returned any of my calls.
He won't. He'll be MIA for the weekend, Ian. He's going to wait until you've sort of come back down to reality. That's what I do with my Liverpool friends. When they win, they don't hear from me for about 3 weeks, and then I know the giddiness is gone, and then I ring them up, and they're like, yeah, but Dave, the fun's over now. And I'm like, exactly my point. How you doing?
Jason Bell saying, I'm scrolling through Instagram right now. It's insane the number of posts celebrating the win. Even just saw one from Lucas Moura celebrating the victory. Spurs are massive, Jason Bell. We're absolutely massive. Sean Maddox saying maybe it was just a happy accident to pass Slabhead. Eugene saying framing the poster of Van de Ven's clearance has become legendary. Yeah, definitely, man. Good to see. No, this is the one that made the thumbnail. Yeah, what is the charge? Winning a trophy, a succulent European trophy.
Brilliant, that. Fucking brilliant.
This one was good. Yes, this was Gaffa, and then this was the comment that I highlighted, Dave. The players don't trust him.
I know, madness. Madness.
Look at them, bringing him into the huddle and everything, bringing him into his trophy celebrations. Apparently, they were doing it for themselves, not the manager.
It's madness. Even look at the goalkeepers all screaming for him to come in. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Johnny H, is this real or am I still dreaming? If it is a dream, I don't want to ever wake up. To all our long-suffering Spurs fans across the world, we deserve every beautiful moment of how we are feeling this morning.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty messed up. Dreams do come true, though. Oops, sorry, clicked on the wrong thing there. Dreams do come true, though. This club is so much. I, like thousands of others, cried tears of joy and happiness last night. You got a picture with Lucas Bergvall. Absolute class there from Johnny. Enjoying the night. He deserves it.
You had a great night out there. He ended up making it on TNT Sport as well.
Yeah.
So he did. He was very happy on
Famous.
TNT Sport. I think he was after having a drink or two. But he's becoming famous now. I did text him this morning, though. I sort of brought him a little bit back down to earth. I was like, now you're going to have to start your worldwide anthropology tour.
That's great, Dave. Spurs pictures that go hard.
Nah, it's brilliant. I always win in my second season then, and just that picture underneath.
Billy saying the cheer in the stadium when the crying kid came on screen. That's what this is all about.
It's so bad, but it's so funny.
A man of his word,
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur, a man of his word.
That's what he's known as
baller.
now. He's known as the Oracle now.
100,000 likes, too. Absolute baller image. Guglielmo Vicario has revealed that Ange Postecoglou managed to get messages from each player's family to show them as a part of the pre-match preparation. So something that he's done before, right?
Yeah, I told people on the build up to this game, Jack, the way he motivates is using the family and stuff like that, what they've been through, the legacy, the name, everything like that, and he's exactly played on that.
We also have Graham Kingsbury.
Again, put the light bulb in
Glasner.
Arteta's hand. Put the light bulb there, man.
Oh, such a good one. Such a good. Thank God for AI now. Tottenham Hotspur, you aren't dreaming. It really happens.
Oh, brilliant.
Great
Even
them.
they understand it. Even they must have checked across socials last night, about 50,000 messages. Am I dreaming?
Dave Ellis, my screensaver sorted.
Hang it in the Louvre, Jack. I mean, that's going to be the new Mona Lisa.
No, it is. It should be. Mark P saying, hope to see you tomorrow, Dave. Thanks to you and Jack for the brilliant content. Mark P, very, very kind of you,
Big
sir.
up, Mark P. I hope to see you too, my man. Look, I'll be where I am going to try and center myself is actually around outside the stadium. So, just look out for me. I'll be up there. I won't have my paddy cap because I've lost it. I have to find a new one on my journey.
Jacob Anderson saying, Mickey was the man of the match for me, boys. You can make the case that just that alone, right? That clearance alone nearly makes him man of the match, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because Vicario, that was a huge blunder that he saved him from.
But Vicario also made a good save right near the death
True.
as well. But, look, if I'm Van de Ven, I'm asking Vicario for his weekly wage, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm asking him to take me out to dinner in Bilbao, to all the Michelin star restaurants over there. That's where I'm asking him to take me.
It was unbelievable. Like, this is what drives me mad, right? I watch Gaelic football. I see players go up and just claim them balls with ease. Every week up and down this country, it's just one straight ball floated up there, and he's made a balls of it. And do you know what? It actually shows how little respect or how bad they think Vicario is from balls like that, because they didn't even try and put any bend on it or keep it away from the goalkeeper. That's usually what you're, as a free kick taker, you're trying to do. They've literally gone, just ping it 60 up yards in the air. This guy ain't going to claim it. This is something he really needs to work on over the summer. I'd argue, send him out to me for a week, bring him down to the local GAA club. He'll be catching balls within a week.
And would you say this is one of the best goal line clearances, even just in history? Like the way he just flew into the air, like the hops that he had, the clearance in itself, right? Didn't clear it into his own net. It is one of the best goal line clearances, I think, ever.
Where I think Mickey Van de Ven maybe isn't getting the praise is he's already sort of anticipated Van de Ven or Vicario going to make that mistake. He's the only one that said, oh no, I'll go back to the goal line just to make sure. And thank fuck he did. That speed of thought in the moment, by the way, is unbelievable and shows the reading of the game this guy has.
Eugene saying it has to be either Van de Ven or Romero or Sarr for man of the match. Framing the poster of Van de Ven's clearance is legendary. Rob Ragnarsson saying Romero was my man of the match. Spurs diehard saying I renewed my season ticket. We also have Eugene saying Adebayor was on the pitch post game. That's like Werner lifting a trophy. Ian Ferguson saying I'm getting married in July and he's the best man, so he'll have to see me sooner or later. He's talking about his brother, the United fan. Yeah, he's gonna have to own up at some point. He's gonna have
Do you know
to show
what?
face.
As you're getting married, technically you do have the say on what they wear. You could just make them wear Spurs kits.
Yeah. Kiwi Spurs TV, Levon, good to see you in the house. How are you doing, my friend? Just making sure I'm not missing any great comments. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the love for this show, everybody. Ayudi saying Pop was all of us waiting for the final whistle. Again, the passion from this guy. You know, it's still running around as well. The engine that he still has to even run up around the pitch, you know, celebrating.
Honestly, I've been here. You can be bollocks come like 89 minutes and you're going through the mire just to get through the rest of the game. When that final whistle blows and you've won something, all of a sudden you're not tired anymore. That's all I got.
This was actually really humbling from Sonny. He actually basically, I want to apologize, he said, for taking so long, you know, to have won a trophy. It was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Guy, even when he was asked, right, you know, they kind of turned it into a thumbnail saying, I'm now a legend. Even when he was asked, like, you know, are you a legend? He goes like, maybe just for tonight, you know, is what he said. You know, because the guy really is one of the more humble players.
I like that, though, because it means he wants to bring more. You know, he's going to celebrate it. That's what the best players do. You always hear Peter Crouch saying about Steven Gerrard. He never enjoyed it. You know, it was almost like they got success. It was done the next day. They're already thinking about the next one. I like that from Sonny. Elite mentality.
This one also, you know, was all over the internet, you know, seeing the Spurs fans in the stadium, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to be specific. You know, look at that old fan there. You know, just, you know,
he's like a newborn kid all over again.
Yeah.
Look at that guy. Yeah, he's crying. Yeah. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very lovely.
Look at the seas. Look at the faces, man. It's unbelievable.
This is glorious. It's almost like almost looks just as good, you know, to be there as it was probably in Spain, you know, to even just be at that stadium. Look at everybody there. Just unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable scenes. Jealous of anybody that got to do either. Harry Kane, Dave, you know, he was just congratulating the team. To be honest, it was, I don't know if we necessarily need to play it, but, you know, he had just a long congratulations for Sonny, for the team, for Spurs fans. You know, nice touch. Nice touch.
I don't know why he's congratulating Ben Davies, though. Did he even play last night? I mean, that's a bit far. But, look, to be honest with you, I don't want to hear it. As much as I love Harry, or loved Harry because of what he's done for this football club, I've moved on now that we've officially won a European trophy. I don't want to hear it. You failed. I don't want to hear it anymore. You know, we done it without you.
I think we can play this one from Mark Goldbridge.
Same old shit. It's the same old problem. Go. Fucking go. You're a bunch of absolute cretins. That fucking goalkeeper. You may as well have the Statue of Liberty in goal. Absolute idiot. He is like concrete. You may as well have a concrete cock in goal. Absolute twat. It's just a crap goal. What a stupid team. Absolute twats. And what happens? What does it come from? Bruno trying a fucking hero ball. Ahmad trying a hero shot. It's the same old story all the bloody time. Same mistakes all season. Can't play patiently. Can't play as a team. Let's try and do the hero ball. And then lo and behold, a mistake happens at the fucking back. I mean, look at him. He's like the Statue of Liberty. He is stood there like that. Bloody concrete. I'd rather have a bloody dildo in goal. At least it moves. What's he doing?
This is well, Dave.
Unbelievable. Look at this. They're engraving Tottenham Hotspur's name on a fucking trophy, man. This is fucking bullshit.
So good. All of it's so good. Cody Mack saying me liking every single tweet on my timeline this morning. Lads, it's Man United, says Jamie Carragher. This is the thing though, Jamie, like he was actually a proper dick though, I think, you know, against us on the overlap, you know, talking about, you know, how we're gonna lose. Said it last night too, you know, on like another version of like stick to football. You know, he was saying, oh, they're gonna lose. Like, you know, it's just I wonder if Jamie Carragher actually kind of hates Spurs as much as he hates Man United.
Everyone hates Tottenham. This thing, everybody hates Tottenham. Like, they pretend they hate United more. They don't. They hate Tottenham more. That's the reality of it. But you know what? I was watching the CBS sort of footage last night, and it was so great to see Carragher very, very quiet and squirming in his seat when they brought Ange over for an interview. You know, it's absolutely brilliant because he knows what he said, and Ange knows what he said. You know, it's absolutely brilliant.
This was just scenes from Sonny here after the game, Dave.
Unbelievable. That was like me last night at 2 a.m. going into the bedroom, knee sliding, crying.
Yeah, just falling to your knees. Yeah, falling to
Yeah.
your knees. Yeah. Bentoncourt as well. Classy from Bentoncourt. Just the whole team in general.
Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah,
He's
it's
gone
just
down for a second
inconsolable.
kiss. Yeah, he needs
Inconsolable.
more. This is where we need Rombom. There we are.
Yeah, get a little Ramban hug in there. Worst league placement of all time without getting relegated, and we won a major European trophy. Only Spurs does
It's
Miles.
shameless, but I fucking love it.
Tim saying to add to that, we'll be in the pot one next year for Champions League together with all the other league winners and winners of the Champions League. Spurs in pot one. That's hilarious, actually. That will be in pot one. Billy saying being 17th and in the Champions League is the most Tottenham thing ever. I am sorry. Absolute social experiment of a club. Tottenham Hotspur saying, how many now, lads? Dominoes.
I love that one. I love that one. That's
very
brilliant.
good from the admin there. This was Dave was saying, beaten by Spurs,
Yeah.
16th at the table. Like traveling to the Faroe Islands.
Faroe Islands. And like, I actually want to go there. It's a beautiful country, but it's so remote and vast. It's as soon as I seen it, I was like, this is brilliant.
Accommodation with no TV and internet. It's also just a hilarious statement. Look at him. He's refreshing Twitter. He can't find anything. Are there any open bus top parades?
Oh, brilliant.
You know how United got on yesterday, do you? That guy is so funny. That guy is so funny. Perfect. Everybody just check that out. It's very, very funny. Even like he goes into this pub as well. Like when he goes into the pub, it's unbelievable. Spurs, you won't have to see Man United throw the ball into their own net. Just here for some peace and quiet.
And he's wearing a flat cap. Love it.
Yeah. Just, I haven't watched the Premier League for years. We don't get any games out here. Oh, really? Oh, my God. I was dying of laughter watching it this morning.
It was brilliant.
I have all the time in the world for them. 4 a.m. in Bilbao, Dave. They were celebrating hard.
Love that. Still got the jerseys on and everything. That's brilliant.
Trophy is the main event, too. The trophy, they could have put some sunglasses on.
It's quality.
Yeah. Sam DaCosta. There he is, everybody. I know what I am. Come on, you Spurs champion.
I know I am. I sure I am. I'm Tottenham till I die.
No,
Big up,
classic
Sam.
Sam. Baller photo.
It's a great photo.
James Madison. I always went in things my second season.
Cool.
Lucas Moore on Instagram, celebrating the final minutes here, getting ready to celebrate. Very nice from Lucas. Look at the crying Spurs fan as well.
Look like that guy out of Harry Potter. What's his name? Ron Weasley. Go on, Lucas.
Great to see. Mo Salah said he did say he'd win in his second season. Congratulations. That's amazing.
See, people respect this shit, you know? You make a quote like that and you back it up. You garner respect, lad.
No. And saying, I always win things my second season and ending Tottenham's 17-year drought is the coldest moment in football history. And then there you are, everybody. We are at the end of Twitter Reacts.
Oh, do you know what, Jack?
Best one ever, Dave. Best one ever.
Like you know, these are horrible to do when you've lost because you're still tied up with the emotion of the game and you're still down. Sometimes you fail to even laugh at some of the stuff. Do you know what I mean? But this is where we're at our best. You know, you can sit here and laugh and have a good joke about things, and it's absolutely unbelievable. Best one of the season. Really enjoyed that one. Thank you for putting it all together as well, Jacko.
No, I had a great time doing it. Jacob Anderson saying, I love that Matters got after Keane a little bit after the game. You're absolutely right, Jacob, man. I saw that. It was unbelievable. A little back and forth between him and Keano. Ian
Keane
Ferguson
got a lovely one in there, though, saying, oh, yeah, he played well tonight as well. Brilliant from Keane.
Ian saying, Dave, the internet was created for nights like this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We also see Carl Higgins just laughing at all that. Good to see that, Carl. Ian Ferguson saying, I'm getting my bro a Man United kit with Spurs 1 on the back. Faz Radfar saying it was United, lads, and deserves full credit. Come on, you Spurs. Beat them 4 times now in the season, Faz. 4 times being Manchester United. We absolutely own that city. I want to go back to Manchester, just rocking around that Spurs kit. That's how good it feels to beat them this many times. And as I've said before, like, they are the biggest club in the world. Like, when they lose, it's like 2 hours of them talking about Man United this, Man United that. You only get like 5-10 minutes for the team that actually beat them. I remember like in the beginning of the season one year, like when Brentford demolished, Ten Hag. I remember like all of the podcasts were like 50 minutes about, Man United this, Man United that. And it was like 2 minutes, of praise for Brentford, for their performance. It's just, they're that type of club that just, we know why, but, they get all the attention, they get all the voice, they get all the sound bites and everything. And it feels amazing, Fast, to have beaten them this many times this year. And then also in the final game, the most important one as well, able to stick it to them. Feels great, Fast, really does.
Wow, unbelievable.
And then Aiden Forsyth, thank you very much for the donation, my friend, saying awesome trophy, best experience ever running on the pitch yesterday.
Oh, you
Champions of Europe. You got to go onto the pitch, Aiden.
Unreal, Adam. Did you grab yourself a couple of blades of grass? That's what I would have done, man.
Yeah, what was the air like, on the pitch? Was it just a special type of air, even just away from all the fans, sprinting out there? Were you one of the first ones, Aiden? Were you getting in there a little bit later?
Just even glorious. To get, even just to walk on that turf. It's an unbelievable moment. Big up, Adam, you legend.
Daniel Harris saying me and the missus actually have a Manchester staycation booked in August. I'll be going full Matters in a kit with shin pads. Love to see that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you, everybody. Really, this was a great Twitter Reacts. Thanks for all the love yesterday. Thanks for all the support yesterday. Thanks for choosing to be with us both yesterday and today. And I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Wish you all a wonderful time. If you are going to the parade, Dave will be at the parade. So try to look for this man and have a good one with him. And we will see you Sunday for the last game of the season against Brighton, which pretty much will be like a trophy parade. So it's going to be good vibes. It's going to be great vibes.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to say it now. Don't care about what football's on display or anything like that.
Put your shades on for the game, Dave.
Yeah. I'm just going to be sitting there singing for 90 minutes. I'm going to do it tomorrow at the parade. Anyone that wants to come and meet me, it'd be an honor. And then after that, then I'll recoup my voice Saturday. I won't speak to anybody. And then Sunday, raring to go again for another trophy session. Oh, great times to be alive. Great time to be a football fan. Enjoy yourselves. I honestly, I encourage people, ring up your boss, call in sick tomorrow, get in front of the TV, watch the trophy parade, have some beers, get a barbecue out, and enjoy the weekend. We're fucking European champions, baby.
You'll never sing that. Tyler saying, hello, my fellow champions. Good to see you, T, in the house. Hotspur 93 joined as well. I am the storm that's approaching, saying, when we win, we want. When we win, we win what we want. We win what we want. European champions. We win when we want. Pick up. I am the storm. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Love you all. See you very, very soon. Come on, you fucking Spurs. We are European champions, everybody. Enjoy it. Live it. It's going to be a hot Spur summer, everybody. A hot Spurs summer.